Hey everybody, I'm talking about designing career and college-ready programs and the best practices involved. This is Luke Bramwell, by the way. Some of you know me, some of you don't. But we're going to be talking about best practices and college readiness. We have 10 strategies for improving high school graduation rates and student achievements. Gene Bottoms shares a report that has developed by high schools highlighting the 10 strategies examined to implement for improving high school achievement and graduation rates. States must articulate a vision of the educational experience necessary both to raise achievements and completion rates and to get higher percentages of students prepared for continued learning and a good job. States can take several actions to ensure that their assessments and accountability systems emphasize the goals of increasing student achievement and graduation rates. These include set up a state accountability system that encourages responsibility for achievement and graduation rates. We have give the same weight to high school completion that the state gives to meeting achievement targets. We also have broadened the accountability index. We set accountability targets for schools. We provide alternative ways to meet achievement standards, and we have expansion indicators to include school actions that enhance the senior year, to exit with credentials that prepare for post-secondary education. It's very important for a curriculum to be aligned to high school readiness standards and for students to develop a strong foundation in literacy and mathematics. States can take several actions to better prepare students for challenging high school studies. These actions include getting students ready for challenging high school studies while they're in middle school. This showcases with developed readiness standards in language arts and reading, mathematics, and science. We have to establish policies to increase 8th grade success in pre-algebra and algebra 1. We must also provide tutoring and enrichment to help students meet state standards. We must also prepare middle school students and their families for high school by assisting with planning. We also have providing additional support such as summer school for middle school students that are at risk of failing. Students who fail the 9th grade have less than 1 chance out of 2 of graduating from high school. There are a number of actions that can take to reduce the 9th grade failure rates and to help more students perform at grade levels in core academic subjects by the end of the 9th grade. This includes focused attention on middle grades to 9th grade transition. Many times I receive students that just get socially promoted. I wish the district would stop doing that because there's a big gap in there in between, and the students are suffering because of that. We've got to create a mandatory plan to improve the promotion rate for 9th and 10th grade. We must establish a schedule allowing more time for critical subjects. Have students adopt special ramp-up courses and provide opportunities for students to explore careers and future education options no later than grade 9. We also have assigned all 9th graders an adult mentor for advising in high school. Select highly qualified teachers to lead 9th grade teams of teachers and create 9th grade small learning communities with a team of core academic teachers. This is very important to me because I'm seeing a lot of students suffer and they don't have the basics to go on further in high school, particularly in the 9th grade. High schools that enroll large number of students in lower level classes, expecting little of them and using worksheet approach to instruction, derail some students from graduation. Because students do not see a connection between high school and their futures, states can take a number of actions to ensure that students complete a solid academic core. So we must require all students to complete a solid academic core. This requires all students to complete required college prep courses and additional mathematics. We have 3 or 4 years of science credits at the college prep level, 3 years of social studies, and additional sequences of career technical courses. Align all academic courses to college and career readiness track, and create or adopt exams to measure student mastery. With the career and technical courses additional, we try to align them with vocational subjects also, so they have a place to go beyond just the academics. All students need to focus in high school. They need to see how their academic courses link to an interest area, opening up aspects of future opportunities. States can act to ensure students have access to further academic or quality career studies by having students take additional academic courses beyond their required core. Provide opportunities for students to take advanced academic courses. Some schools are not equipped for that because their population doesn't allow them to have exactly what they need. They can't cater to more individual students. Setting eligibility criteria for dual enrollment. Requiring high schools to provide students access to career and technical offerings, and providing opportunities for students to attend technical high schools. The aim is to prepare students for further study and for employment. And the courses have been designed to add value to academic achievement. To create partnerships with employers, community and technical colleges, and shared time career technical centers, states can take the following actions. They must create partnerships with employers, community, and technical colleges. We must develop partnerships with career and technical teachers. We must establish policies that strengthen the academic focus of high school careers and technical courses. We must also require career and technical teachers to participate in specific special training. This is very important because I don't feel that we're getting enough specific special training for certain populations in our schools. We must use federal funding as support of the development of academic and career technical programs. And we must create opportunities for students that are behind to complete career technical programs. There are a number of actions states can take to encourage high schools to provide flexibility without lowering standards for students who struggle to remain in school. States can help students who fail a high stakes exam, a course or grade level, by requiring schools to develop an extra help system for recovery. So we must use technology to give additional retake options. We do this in our school quite often. We see where the data-driven instruction is taking place. What are they missing? Where are the gaps? So we must provide students with special tutoring. So we have after-school programs. We have Saturday academies that we use. So we're trying to offer the students as much as we can. And we must also encourage schools to assess students at 2 to 3 week intervals. Many students slack off the senior year and fail to use it better to prepare for the next step. There are several actions that states can take to strengthen the senior year and to better prepare students for their transition from high school to college and careers. These actions include: make full use of the senior year as a means for life after graduation. Many of the students don't see the transition over there from how's this going to apply to my life, how's it going to apply to my family's life. So we must determine by the end of grade 11 which students meet career and college readiness standards. This should be a good indicator, because by the time the 11th year comes, we should know which route you are taking to further your education or further your life. We must identify students who plan to go on for post-secondary studies. We must provide opportunities for students not planning to pursue post-secondary studies, which is an alternative. Like I mentioned before, we're trying to provide some vocational opportunities so they don't have to just focus on studies, post-secondary studies all the time. They can have a trade, they can have a lucrative career, actually. We must also assign a high school completion counselor to each student. There are a number of actions states can take to reform these high schools and make them more relevant and effective for all students. These actions include the following: develop a special emphasis on the lowest performing high schools in the state. So we must encourage low performing high schools to adopt a comprehensive school reform model. Provide high quality training for staff, even though some staff don't like it, and provide support to schools in organizing small learning communities. So we must also always have that training provided to the staff, so there won't be any excuses. It must be there. Some staff will be receptive to it, some won't. We can't focus on them. We just have to move on to the next, and then we'll be better prepared. Developing a team of leaders in low-performing schools that can sustain a reform effort is essential in providing chronically low-performing schools. Improving chronically low-performing high schools. States can build this leadership team through a number of strategies that include the following. We must develop teams or districts and school leaders to help low-performing schools. This is very important because the low-performing schools don't have the resources available to it. So we must provide training for leadership teams at low-performing schools. This seems to help a lot because once we have the team there, we could do a lot more, usually. We must recruit, train, and certify principals who can lead instruction and promote student achievement in low-performing high schools. And we must also develop a team consisting of school and teacher leaders who work together to improve the quality of instruction. So applications of best practice include designing and implementing a college and career-ready program. So ways that high school can be used by a school system designing and implementing a college and career-ready program are offering additional courses that will expose the student to collegiate studies. So the more college classes that we have available, they'll be more exposed to that, and they have a better idea of how they can plan for their future. Developing and creating technical centers for high school students that are on community college campuses and having them enrolled through partnerships created with local community colleges and universities. Sometimes our students are not on the fast track from jumping from straight from high school to the university level. So sometimes they have to be in between. So we have these partnerships where they can get college-ready classes and university level classes, but they could use that at the community college and it will transfer over. We have to determine the low-performing students and developing a career technical track. And we must train highly qualified teachers that can serve as support and mentors for seniors. This is very important. I feel that the seniors should not be left out there by themselves. They must have a mentor to show them the way, which is the proper way to go, which is the proper way to apply yourself. So having a mentor as a child and an adult is very important. Possible drawbacks or areas of concern. These include new reforms must not impact the effectiveness of the program and must be considered as a reforms rollout. We must have student buy-in. This is very big because in my district, we have a lot of students that do not buy in, and teaching where I teach, the students are not buying into it. I believe that stems from home. We need district supports, school buy-in, and completion of programs with fidelity. School participation may not be implemented with fidelity across the district in all schools, like charter schools. Constant monitoring. All schools must monitor. All students must be considered. I know we have sometimes some teachers have their favorites, and sometimes some of the students might be left on the side. All students must be considered. Additional resources, district should establish the necessary conditions for schools to succeed. The 5 things that district must do are to recognize poor performance and problem areas, and create and instill a vision for change. Create a system-wide approach to instructional improvement, develop and implement new approaches to professional development. Redefine leadership roles across the district to make improving curriculum instruction and student achievement the main focus, and commit to sustain reform over the long haul. Thank you.